This one's heavy. It's a trigger warning. I don't think I'll cry, but I'll probably cry. But I don't think so.
Welcome to Under the Sun podcast.
I'm Irene.
And I'm Ilea. We're so glad you're here. Grab a hot
or iced coffee and join us as we talk about everything under the sun. Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
I like your cloak.
Thanks. I bartered hair services for it.
It makes me want to tear it apart and steal the pattern and make more.
I have thought about the reason I actually bartered for this is I was like, I want that. I will make that. And then I'm looking at the stitches. I will literally, this would take me years because I've been working on a sweater, like a crop sweater, and it's taking forever. So now that I have that timeline to associate with like a full cape, it's like, forget it. I will just buy it or barter.
So much.
Yeah. Well, and this is way off of what we're talking about today, but I think I'm semi-distracting myself. Knitted things can be done by machine. Crocheted things cannot be done by machine.
Is that knitted or crocheted?
So I'm pretty sure this is knitted. Is it knitted? I don't know, but it's like the tiniest. It's like sewing thread. It's not like yarn, so it's hard to tell. But
wow.
To do this with crocheting would take a year of like consistent work. Your kid.
We got a rumpus that stretches.
Yeah.
And then
and then the legs go out. This one's heavy. It's a trigger warning. I don't think I'll cry, but I'll probably cry. But I don't think so. But it's coming. Last fall, we had a miscarriage, which obviously Ilea knew. None of you knew because we did not announce the baby to anybody but family. And it was I think obviously the loss of my child was awful. I think what was more shocking was the shock of it. Like that shock that it happened to me was equally up there with the grief of losing my kid, I think. Because I am healthy and I eat mostly organic and everything you can think of, like I take folate, I take this, my minerals are up. I have too much coffee, but I had too much coffee prior to conceiving my other two kids. So that like wasn't on the top of I should lower my caffeine before I have a baby. So I don't know if like you've noticed, but I don't know if the listeners have noticed that like anytime it comes to talking about anything health, my answers have been less definitive because I felt like the last year was like, well, what do I know? Because I guess it was a humbling, I'm just going to word vomit because I don't really know where I'm going yet, sort of. But it was humbling and not, I've told you this before, but not that I think God took my child because I needed to be humbled. Things just happen. They happen and we don't know why, and we won't know why until we see God face to face. We can ask him all of our questions then. But there was a part of me that was always like, oh yeah, well, if you're just healthy enough, you can have a baby. Well, if you're just like, don't eat this ingredient or don't use this laundry detergent, like, oh yeah, everyone can have a baby if they just tried hard enough. And again, I don't think God took my child to punish me. I don't think he took my child to teach me a lesson. I do think things just happen. But that judgment from me, which like I'm probably one of the least judgy people I know for the most part. Like in my heart, I don't feel like I'm like, well, that's your life to live, for the most part. A lot of that thought of like, well, maybe if they just ate healthier, maybe if they just did this, or maybe you could change out like my ideas of like, oh, if you just do this, it'll probably help, or just they're gone. Mm-hmm. And it took a while for me to not be like, what do I know about health? I might as well. And I did not go binge on Dr. Pepper, but like, if my kid's going to die anyways, I might as well. Like it was a lot of a mental spiral, I guess, too, on top of the grief of like, this kid will never be. But, and my answer still for health would be like, what do I know? I'm just doing the best I can. And then the thoughts were creeping in at the time of like, well, drug addicts can have babies and I'm eating mostly organic. We were prepping for this baby. So I'm eating well, I'm eating grass-fed beef. Like, I don't know. It's the thoughts in your brain are almost worse than the grief, I think, which is also extreme. But Obviously, I'm not an expert. I've just done it once. There was also some kind of confidence in me that was like, oh, I've done it twice. Like the third time's piece of cake. So it took a long time, months, and there's no direct time frame of when it should be, but it took a long time before I could honestly say, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And to believe it, because I said it begrudgingly because I knew I'm supposed to. At this point, I mean it. I don't know why. And I don't know why I mean it. And I don't know why people that are good people can't have babies. And people that are willing to throw their children in literal trash get to have babies. But I did not design the world, and that is not for me to know. And at this point, I am content living in that truth versus the bitterness. So I guess part of this podcast is just to update the people with, if I've been a little bit MIA this last year, it's been a year. And I've done a lot of hard things in this life. But that was literally the hardest thing I've ever done. And one of the things, like, I already know the physical, I know the medical, I know what's happening. I know, I don't know, firstborn or whatever, like I went into like fix it mode. Like, fine, let's just get this thing over with and then fix it. Let's get this over. Whatever I did wrong, I'll fix it. And there's nothing to fix. But I jumped into, some of the first things I looked up were, I wanted to be reminded of which organs store grief, which is the lungs. And I was like, well, I love to run, so I can't have my lungs compromised. So I felt my feelings because I wanted to feel my feelings, because I know it's not good to shove those away. And I knew this is the biggest feeling I am ever going to feel.
Yeah.
I did not want it to compromise my lungs. So it kind of went into like a to-do list, which does help me as a person to-do list things a little bit. But one of the things that I looked at, one of the first things I looked up at the time was how to emotionally survive a miscarriage. Because there's a million things out there about physical. I know enough about health to like keep my minerals up, keep my iron up, like all the things you're losing at that point. Like, let's rebuild these back up. That part I knew. What I didn't know is how to emotionally navigate that space. And when I Googled it, I still didn't really find the tools that I needed, I guess, out there. So not even to say that this podcast is going to be those tools, but these are things in hindsight that I wish I would have found maybe back then. And some of the stuff I did right, I think right away. So one of the main things I did read was don't do it alone, which I already knew. And I'm also very like people community minded. So like I don't do well alone anyways, but, when we lost the baby at 5 weeks, so we told everybody like right away. And even my husband was like, are you sure it's not too soon? I was like, this is a third time. I'm healthy. Our kid, we've had 2 beautiful children. We've never experienced a miscarriage before. Like, it's fine. And he was like, okay, but are you sure? And not that he was like willing it to happen. Mm-hmm. He's just wanting to, he knows I'm an emotional being and that I am fragile. So he's like, well, when it comes to the kids, I guess I'm fragile, but he was just trying to make sure that space was protected. But I did tell him, I was like, look, I want to tell our friends. It's like, plus if anything was to happen, these are the same people I would call, and I'd rather let them experience whatever little joy we have than me just bombarding them with, hey, our baby's gone.
Yeah.
And that I'm grateful we did, because the same handful of people I called to tell us having a baby are the same people I called when I was losing the baby. And that I've talked to some people along this year that had nobody they could call. And I don't know how I would have survived this last year without having people. I literally can't imagine not being able to just text somebody and say, hey, I'm having a hard day. Or, hey, how do I navigate this? Like, to the best of your ability, don't do it alone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm grateful that for the community of people we have around us, but and everything I read said, don't do it alone. Don't be afraid to tell people. Don't be afraid to talk about it, because holding on to that is not good either. I will say I was so concerned about my lungs with the grieving that I would grieve. If I wanted to cry, I would cry. If I wanted to yell at God in my car driving home from work, I would yell at God in the car driving, like I would let it out. What I did not think about was I was letting the grief out, but I wasn't letting the anger out. And anger hits your liver and gallbladder, and my gallbladder is already wonky because I'm a kind person who doesn't let a lot of anger out. So then my gallbladder went on the fritz at the beginning of this year. That was fun. But it wasn't until I got to the point where I could thank the Lord for that time in my life instead of being angry that like even my gallbladder kind of chilled. So and there's no pattern for how to do that. There's no method because everyone has to do it of their own way, their own timing. But just be mindful that your emotions really are stored long term in your body. And I don't know. There's a lot of weird emotions that come up, like the anger, the bitterness, the guilt that I couldn't mother my kids properly because all I wanted to do was lay in bed and cry. And it's like, then the guilt, the like survivor's guilt of people don't even have children. At least I have 2 beautiful children to like love on. And if I never have another baby again, I still have 2 great kids. So the guilt of that, but then the bitterness of still, but I wanted that baby. And then going through months where you think you're fine, and I don't even believe in due dates, so I didn't even really have a due date, but around that like 2-week time, I was extra sulky, and it's okay. It's okay to be sulky. You were supposed to, like, your body, I think, also remembers that you were supposed to have a baby. So it's not bad to feel those feelings. It's not, I don't know, but it is a weird water when you have kids who are like, "Mommy, play with me." And I'm like, I don't want to play with you. I want to lay here and cry. I also don't want you to see me laying here and crying, so I need you to go away. And they don't understand go away. They just understand Mom's not playing with me. So like that was fun to navigate. But and then like my husband was great. He sometimes would just take the kids to the park. He's like, "We're just gonna go to the park so Mommy can take a nap," and that was helpful too. But that was also me like not doing it alone and feeling comfortable enough with him that I could say like, "Hey, I need you to take everybody out of the house, please," and him doing that. So but definitely, like, if you are pregnant, I would say don't be afraid. You don't have to tell the world or announce it to Instagram. But if you have your core group of people, don't wait to tell them. I think that was really pivotal in me healing as like quickly as I did. I also hate that we have people in our circle that knew and have experienced it before. So like, I will forever be grateful that I had someone I could talk to who like knew what was going on, but like also like heartbroken that she knew how to help me, but she was willing to help. And I think that really ties in with not doing it alone.
As we hear our kids literally howling.
I did therapy for a little bit. It was the only time I've ever done therapy in my life. I wouldn't say it didn't work, and I'm not saying don't go to therapy. I'm just saying I have not trust issues. I trusted her to not like go tell her friends, guess what this lady talked about, but I don't know. A lot of it was like, I don't know if it's the training of digging into your past, but I feel like and it was great. She was so sweet. But a lot of it was like, well, tell me how you were raised. I'm like, that probably ties into how I'm grieving this kid, where I'm like, I'm just sad that I lost a kid, that how it was parented. Like, I don't know. I don't know that I found it personally helpful, but I don't want to say that in case like people are doing it and love it, but I don't know. That was just my personal experience. So I know that was another one was like, go to therapy. And maybe it was go talk about it with someone, but I had a community I could go talk to. I didn't need to like, oh, I'm having a bad day, let me call my therapist. I had it was like, oh, I'm having a bad day, let me go call my friends. So I don't know. So I just put therapy ? So if that's your thing, do it. If not, use your friends. You're going to think the thoughts that like the feelings you're going to have, but try not to get irritated when people say it's not your fault, because they're just doing their best and they don't know. And I think the mom's always going to feel like it's their fault.
Yeah.
And even now, like, I don't think it was my fault, but at the time I was logically aware this is not my fault, but emotionally you cannot help but think like I was a bad host or whatever things you're going to think, you know? And then I had a lot of people, my husband including, saying, hey, he like had done some of his own research on it just to, I don't know. I think we both like information, which is helpful, but he was like, hey, did you know that they said a lot of times, most of the time, if you lose a baby before 12 weeks, it was the sperm's fault. And it's said out of like, hey, I'm trying to let you not feel guilt. This is not your fault. At the time, my brain was like, great, my kid is still gone. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. So just try not to snip at the people that are trying to help if they're trying to help, you know? I don't know if that made any sense.
But they would
at all,
understand if you did snip.
But they would. But you don't want to snip so much that you like, and I didn't, but like, you don't want to snip so much that you can't take anything back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's weird to navigate unless you've navigated it.
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
When anybody's grieving anything, whether it's like
a parent, a sibling, a child. Yeah.
Like my only, the time my only experience was like grandma being lost. And I remember being heavily agitated at people who tried to.
She had a beautiful life. It's like, great. Where's her life now? Like,
yeah,
all the snips of,
yeah,
you understand their sentiment, but it doesn't help you in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I guess back then I was irritated because nobody was telling me how to emotionally navigate it. I just read Don't Do It Alone. But I'd probably still say the same thing. Don't do it alone. Feel your feelings. It doesn't matter if it's 6 months later and it's hard. Like, your friends still care about you and your feelings, even if it is later.
Yeah.
But that wasn't very long. I guess I don't have any thoughts now. My brain's
Is there anything you would say to like being the friend, how to support a friend in that time?
As the friend, just be willing to listen. My friends are unicorns, so can't help you. My friend offered to sift through all my blood clots because I could not bear the thought of flushing my child down the sewer. So I was going to somehow, and this is, I know in hindsight, it was like hysteria. I was panicking. Sort of, but also like I would have just buried a blood clot in your garden, but we're also weird. So we're that. But
that's not weird to me.
the first day when it started happening, I was peeing through, which I was going to replace it anyways. It was the little like sifter thing, but it was plastic rimmed and I'd been needing an aluminum one. I was like, well, I'm throwing it away anyway. So I was peeing through that and like trying to weigh. I know it's probably unhealthy, but it is how I processed. So leave me alone. But I was sifting through to try to find this baby because I could not bear to flush my child down the toilet. Like that just seemed horrendous. Like I'm already going through the worst thing and now I got to flush my kid. Like it's garbage. So I was going to take, if I found anything that remotely resembled the size of an ant of a baby through a blood clot, I was going to bury it in Ilea's flower garden. And my friend came and laid in bed with me and cried with me and offered to sift through my blood clots. So I don't know what to say other than I have a unicorn friend.
I'm not saying it because of that, but like,
well, I am saying that because I can't think of many people who would have also done that. But even if there's nothing to say, just like you came and laid in bed with me, we just cried for hours, and that was helpful enough. Even not saying anything, you know.
Yeah. I think it was. I'm glad you told us because like we could love it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I will say for the emotional, just feel your feelings. You do still have to get up and like move on though, which I think that's any kind of grief. You don't know how you're going to grieve until you grieve it. Yeah. But as far as the physical, we always eat out of cast iron anyways, but I like made sure I was getting enough iron in, taking minerals. I still kept taking a prenatal because I knew like I just do emotionally and mentally better on a prenatal all the time, whether there's baby or no baby. Like I just do better. So I made sure I took that, even though I wanted to sulky, be like, I don't even need to take this. This is stupid. I tried to make sure to take it anyways because I knew like future me would be glad if I'm not completely deficiently dead inside. Even if I couldn't eat, I was like boosting water with minerals and stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure you're taking care of yourself and sleeping and hydrating.
Do you have brain fog? Are you lethargic? Do you have digestion issues? Do you not poop enough? Are you pooping too much? Do you have angry outbursts? Does your butthole itch? Irene, does your butthole itch? Don't answer that. Don't answer.
I'm going to answer.
Well, if your butthole
No, I'm not
itches,
going to
what does
answer
that
that
mean?
question. That means you have a worm.
Or many worms.
Lots of worms.
And I know what you're thinking. Worms? Are you kidding? That doesn't happen.
I've not left the country.
Yeah, it happens. Guys, like you can go touch the soil in your front yard and get worms from there. Like, because
if you have pets, they lick you.
We're disgusting, honestly. And like food, like produce, if it's not cleaned properly or if it's grown and like, they're everywhere. Yeah. So most cultures cleanse once a quarter.
Yeah.
So
deworm themselves all the time.
You gotta deworm yourself, and we have the perfect brand for you.
Yes. Rogers Hood is where we get all of our parasite things from. She has this kit. It gives you everything you need. It has 3 tinctures. There are...
And heavy metals, too.
It pulls heavy metals out. It's so great.
Yeah.
I did it. I'll just say it. I did it. And the very first day that I started the tinctures, an 8-inch tapeworm came out of my butt.
8-inch.
So... And... I mean, I have left the country on like cruises, but it's all sanitary and everything's washed and they're there.
It's just life, and we have to just cleanse regularly. Yeah. So use our code UTSP10 and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Do you know who Procter & Gamble is?
I wish I didn't.
They're the owners of Pampers and Loves. They help fund the murder and mutilation of children. Did you know that?
Which is bizarre for someone who claims to care about your child's rear end.
Not to mention that, but also their stuff is filled with harsh chemicals, endocrine disruptors, carcinogens, like in the diaper on your kids' most sensitive parts. It tells you exactly who they are and that they actually don't care about your kid. They care about getting your money for their product. I have made this switch and I have not looked back once. Good. It's with Every Life. They are non-toxic diaper company, but they auto ship to your door, and we have a code with them now because I use their product. Yeah. Like we always do, guys. We use the product first, and then we're like, we reach out. We're like, guys, we want to talk about you on the podcast because we think our listeners would actually really benefit from this information. Yes. So, or this product. So, anywho, but yeah, we have a code with them.
Woohoo! Code UTSP10.
Yeah, and you get 10% off your purchase, which I don't think you'll regret at all. It's non-toxic, super soft, really like, it feels like a nice quality. And it doesn't feel like plastic, if that makes sense.
And they don't support murder. They don't support murder.
Okay, UTSP10, bye!
Have people you can reach out to. I don't know, I keep saying the same things, but I guess that really was so pivotal, was being able to just text anyone anytime things were hard.
Did it help having someone to reach out to that you feel like, I mean, you kind of touched on this, but that that had experienced it before? Like, was it easier to reach out to that person versus like someone who hasn't? Like, cause I feel like it would.
It was. Yeah. Which we haven't even talked about this yet. I actually told her about your baby before you told her about your baby, because I text her, and obviously,
what do you mean?
I am so happy for every baby, but that doesn't lessen the like hurt that I feel. Like when you told us you were having a baby, so excited, love this baby, will be this baby's everything, but it still hurt, you know? And that's a weird world to be. And I knew it was coming because we've talked about how like we're all trying to have more babies. So I knew it was coming either way. So I was kind of like already braced for impact. But I did text her and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to ruin Ilea's good news, but I really need help. Like, how do I do this? And I think my text was literally like, how do I do this? Because obviously I'm so happy, but it still hurt, but it's still, I'm happy. So you can live in both worlds, and it's not jealousy or bitterness or anger. It's just equal amounts of excitement for someone and pain, I guess, if that makes sense. So
poor girl, because I texted her too. I was like, how do I navigate this?
She texted me and she said, I forget what she texted me back. Something along the lines of like, she cares about you because she said, obviously I know you care about me. So we're going to sift through my blood clots for me. But she texted me back and was like, I know
I've
she
scooped your
cares.
poop out of a
That's true. She was like, she texts me to ask, can I handle the same situation when it comes up? So
Yeah.
and obviously we can come to each other. We are best friends.
Yeah.
But that was a different, like,
We've never navigated it before.
that was a different navigation to navigate.
Mhm.
So I will forever be grateful for her friendship and like helping me get through that. But I hate so much for her that she had the toolbox
I know.
to help me. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
should
I've
send her
never
a gift
done. I know.
basket.
I've never done a support. I don't know. I'm not like a support. Don't do a Facebook support group. I think that's dumb. But like, I guess,
Well,
maybe not a Facebook support group. There's the groups on Facebook where it's like everyone's great grandmothers telling everyone's business. And then there's things that can actually like help. I would say if you can find a group that's actually helpful, maybe do that if you don't have anyone in your inner circle that's experienced it before. But one of my clients and I were talking, and I found out that she basically, our kids would have been born around the same time, and we lost them about the same time, and we didn't really know until a couple months later. I was cutting her hair, and it came out, and I was like, "Oh, did you have anyone to call?" And she said no, and her husband travels a lot for work, and it's just her and her 1-year-old.
oh geez.
And I, like, my heart broke for her because I was like, I would not have survived without my people that I could reach out to, you know. So, I've been trying to like text her, just check, like, when the due month was, I sent her a text, was like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I was just gonna text you too. So I don't know how she did it alone.
Well, then
So maybe find a support group, but like find one that's actually going to be helpful, because there's
people be
therapy
helpful?
that helps, and there's therapy that lets you talk about your problems and live in them. And I am this because my therapist said I was traumatized, and I'm like, okay, if it's not helping you, leave it. If it's making you worse, find a new therapist, but find a group that's actually going to be helpful and encouraging and stuff versus a group that's just going to like marinate in the sad, because you want to be sad. Give that child the time and the life that it deserved. But and I don't know, everyone's needs are different. I didn't really need, like, I know what to do. I know to drink water. I know to eat healthy. Like, I personally did not need anyone saying like, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like, I know these things. What I needed is what you did, and just come lay in my bed and cry with me. So, and everyone's needs are different.
what
so
about
it's kinda hard to
the
know.
weeks and months and time that follows? Like, because I have a friend who had a miscarriage probably like 10 years ago at this point. And like she has said that she sometimes still gets sad, which is totally understandable. Like, so that's totally understandable. But how would you advise friends or even women who are experiencing this to communicate like what is too much? Because
I think that depends on every person.
I know. Okay. Because like you only know how you grieve.
Yeah.
And I like to grieve alone. Like I like to just for the most part like to be alone, or like my very select few people. But like, when is a good time? I don't even know what the question is. It's like, I thought about it a lot, and I'd be like, I should text Irene, or I should do these things. And I'm like, well, but what if she's actually having a good day, like a day where she's not thinking about it, or like having great fun with her kids. Yeah. And then I just throw a wet blanket on it because I texted her to ask about a thing, or like ask how she was doing.
It depends, because sometimes it's nice to acknowledge that like people remember.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because we lost a baby in September, and then our friend showed up at my house with a Christmas ornament that has 2 little feet on it, and it says "Sleep in Heavenly Peace," and it has baby Colgan, and then it has the name on it, and it was beautiful, and I love it. And at the time I was like, I'm not putting this on the tree though, I'm not ready. And then it ended up at the top of our tree, and then instead of it making me feel crushed, it helped to remind me that like my baby is in perfect peace. And somehow it was okay. You know? I don't know how. It was okay, but it was. So, and I think that when she dropped it off, I was at work. And my husband met her at the door, and she was like, here, I have a gift for you guys. And his first words were, is this going to make my wife cry? And she said yes, but she needs it. And I think because she knew that it's nice to not forget, and that ornament will go on my tree every year. And at the time I was like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. And now I love that I have it because it took time, but it is like a reminder of this life. Like I don't want this life to just be forgotten. So, I don't even have tattoos, and I probably still will never get a tattoo, but I was like, that would be the one thing that would cause me to get a tattoo. Not that I would forget, but it'd be like a physical reminder. But, and I think sometimes when I've grieved people before and I've lost people, but obviously this one was a deeper. So like the grief coming in waves really this time made more sense to me, because I would be fine in a grocery store and then it would just slam into me out of nowhere. There wouldn't even be a baby in my sight, and it would just like, my brain would be like, oh yeah, I should have had it, like innocently been like, oh yeah, I should be lifting a car seat into this cart, and then like boom, you're gone. And sometimes it's like, that would have been a nice life. Then you can carry on a grocery, like you just don't know how it's going to hit you when it hits you. But I try to be cautious to like feel it when I feel it and not shove it away, even though sometimes I'm like, I don't want to think about it. It's like, no, let's think about this so it doesn't end up in your bowels. They're already wonky. So
I think that's
so I guess I feel like a lot of our stuff lately has been to communicate, but I think communication is so important. So like being able to communicate and say, hey, I need help, or hey, do you want me to come over? Do you want me to ignore it? Like, what do you want me to do? And if the answer is I don't know, just show up with some chocolate, or I don't know, something. Sometimes even if the question is like, do you want me to make you laugh, or do you want me to let you cry? And it's different every time, the answer. But yeah, reach out if you don't have anyone. You're welcome to message us on Instagram, but
we should really
I don't have any
create a
answers per
Facebook
se.
group.
I created one. I just never launched it because I think I created it wrong, because I'm apparently a boomer when it comes to Facebook pages.
Did you have to do it on your laptop?
I think I started it on my phone and I was like, I can't do this. So one of us or the Under the Sun page has a page started somewhere.
Okay.
I'll find it.
We need to probably launch. Let's launch it with this episode.
Okay.
We'll launch it when you're ready to launch it.
Yeah. Because that'd be nice. Because not that I can control the community, but I can control if it's like people giving their horror stories. There's a difference between like telling your experience and like making people feel a certain way with your story. And I don't want the community to like, I don't like finding new communities, but I'm fine with making one. But yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Thanks for laying in my bed with me.
Yeah.
It's made me more, I was always more compassionate, but it's just different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's made me less problem solving. Like sometimes there's just problems you can't solve, and it's not my place to solve them. So I guess I have learned things on the other side of it, but I am a little bit more timid at this point to give my direct health advice like I would have given last summer even. So I don't know.
Maybe that's okay. I think a lot of people talk in definitives.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, we're all bio individuals. Yeah. And like some people don't do well on a whole bunch of meat.
Yeah.
Some people don't do well on a whole bunch of carbs. Some people don't do well on like, the more crunchy I get, the more I'm like, I actually pull back the reins of like, actually, we just have to keep it really simple and what works for your body. Now that doesn't mean you can, like, somebody can just eat M&Ms all the time because they feel good on M&Ms. It's like, I don't know. I think when we were first into it, it was very good for all of our nervous systems to be like, cut everything out and then, be intense about it. And the more we do it, I'm like, I think it's all bio individual. Yeah. Because there are some things that like I can do sourdough and you can't. Yep. And like, fine. That's because we're different. And Dave can do way
300
less.
milligrams of caffeine and you can't.
I can't.
I can't either.
Sound.
I have been told that I'm pinging.
She cute, but she ping.
Oh, man. So apparently I can't either, but I still do it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I am less like, oh, we'll just take vitamin D and it'll fix that problem. And I never said it with that tone, but what do I know? I'm just a person on this earth.
Well, I think we need to know that
I am not the creator of life. I am just here to live it and do my best.
I think sometimes, like we were talking about with like emotions and the organs and stuff,
Yeah.
I think we sometimes in the crunchy world try to control something that we didn't create. So
Yes.
like, yes, we can change our habits, but like God is a miracle worker and like in charge of giving and taking life. Like we can't turn a single hair on our head gray is what, right? Like we are not in control. We shouldn't plan for tomorrow, all the things.
Like there are things you can do to prep your body, but at the end of it, like God is the creator of life, not me, which is like, I knew that. I emotionally knew it. I logically knew it. But like in my soul, obviously, like, I don't know. It's hard to, does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, but now like, nope. Obviously I didn't doubt that God created. But part of me was like, well, how much does God actually have his hands in things? Like you do the thing, you get a baby. And now I'm like, oh, God literally breathed life into Adam. Like I am just the host.
And then I'm
just here.
He knits the child like to get like he's the ultimate crafter, like a DIY.
Knit in the mother's womb. Like,
yeah.
And even reading back like to the Old Testament, I looked up just the word womb and I was looking at just any verse with the womb. There are some crazy verses in there about the womb. Have you ever looked up the word womb?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So one of them, it was one of the prophets, I think it was Jeremiah or something, was basically complaining that he didn't die in his mother's womb. And I'm like, what is wrong? Calm down, sir. Like, get a hold of yourself. But there's a couple, and like Job did it once too. Where it's like,
he's like, you might as well
just like shot me down in my mother's womb. I'm like, calm down, everybody. But one where like God saw that, was it Leah? God saw that Leah was unloved, so he gave her a baby and shut Rachel's womb. So it's like, some part of me is like, how much does God just like drop us like we're Sims and let us go? Does he actually, like, how involved is he? And we'll never like technically know. But if I'm reading that, I'm like, well, God saw that this girl was being bullied and her husband hated her and then gave her a baby, but not this girl, and just shut her womb. So it's crazy. But then, and I also know saying that could mean like, well, God's not giving somebody a baby because it's like, no, God, I'm not God. I don't know anything. I just know my own experience and my own feelings. So, and I know it's a touchy subject and I know like it's easy to get your feelings hurt, but also this is just my personal experience and my thoughts. So it's wild. It's wild, but I'm still grateful for that life. No matter how short of a time I had it. What's weird though, I guess it's not weird, as a mother and the instinct, and maybe it's just like because I'm weird or in tune with my body or whatever, but obviously bleeding can be a variation of normal. But when it was happening, it was just like the panic because I've never spotted during any pregnancy before. So I was like, that's weird. Let me panic a little. And then I went to bed that night. And then I hadn't even really started like actively bleeding yet. But I woke up that morning and laid in bed. And as soon as I opened my eyes, I knew I was alone. Like it was, and I can't explain it other than like just the feeling of like, oh, it's just me. And then that day I started the process. But that was the weirdest feeling.
Life is so precious. And like, it's humbling to realize like, oh, we don't have any control. And like we pretend. But we have no control. And that like, praise God for the beautiful babies that are out playing on that porch right now. As
fighting with each
feral
other.
as they are, and as probably glue covered my porches. It'll be fine. It's
life is a gift. That's all. That's my story. That's why I've
proud of you.
Thanks. Half MIA, but I feel good. I feel healed. Sounds like such a, I almost said gay term. You can't say that anymore. It feels like such a woo-woo term.
I say it all the time.
I've gotten used to Ben in my living room yelling all the time. But
Candace Owen says it all the time. She goes, "That's fake and gay," and I'm like, that's true. But like,
but I'm also a child of the 2000. Like I was a 10 in 2000, so that's just what you said.
Yeah.
But I feel healed.
Praise God.
Find a community, and if you don't have one, we'll launch one with this episode.
Join our Facebook group, and
maybe we'll do an Instagram thing of what the name should be. Okay. What if we call it "Just Doing Our Besties"?
Oh, that's fun.
Nah.
That sounds sexual.
Even better.
See, my brain went to, it's just not, I feel like it's something I'm working on. I'm still trying to get my tongue in order, but like my brain goes into bitches at home. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because that's what our group chat is.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
And I'm sorry.
For being there.
But
it's just good. Life is good. No matter what, life is good.
Mm-hmm. And it is like, before you'd see like illustrations of like babies in the arms of Jesus and it of like a cartoon. And like that's something that like just stabs me differently. Yeah. Cuz like actually having like a relationship with Jesus and like and not in the way that like we were raised that's like very fake. Yeah. It's like actually having like a like a relationship. It's like, oh wow, like there are children up there that like never felt any pain or had any troubles, and they're like all they do is they get to like, is see God's face. Like what a redeeming factor.
There's something about that deep level of grief that I'm grateful that I like know God, because I don't know how to explain it other than like it's easy to say God is good when things are great, and we've been through times where things weren't great or we didn't have any money or whatever the situation was. Like we've been through all these things, but that was like the deepest level of, to me, like my human body reaching up and saying, I cannot do this. And some part of me in every other scenario was like, oh, please help. I need to pay this bill. I need to do this thing. And then some part of my back of my brain was like, I'll just work hard enough. That was the first time like I literally could do nothing but reach up. And that like deep level of connection, I can't explain it unless you've been through any kind of grief that's strong like that, Yeah. But yeah, it's wild. Like I did not know that I could honestly be grateful for that situation happening. And I'm still sad about it, and I still wish that I would have had like a 4-month-old right now. But I can genuinely say I'm thankful for all of it. Like the good, the bad, the ugly, the sadness. Like, I am thankful. And that was not an easy road to get to, but it is possible if you're in the middle of it and it's hard and you think there is nothing. There is another side. But I don't know how people go through that if they don't know Jesus, Like I can't even like imagine a scenario and where in that instance I had to do it alone, Like my brain can't
maybe
even
that's your
fathom it,
final tip is if you're going through it and you don't know Jesus, now's a great time.
It's a great time because there's no way through it than that. I think truly through it without living in it forever, I guess. I don't know. But, message us. We're happy to help in any way we can. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for sharing.
This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice.
Please do your own research and find a trusted medical professional for personalized guidance and advice.
We are not responsible for your decisions based on the information you hear on this podcast.
Bye.
Bye.